Shavua Tov, a good Woch, and welcome to our program. Shabbos morning we read the Parsha of Kisiso, and Shabbos to Mincha we started the Parsha of Vayakhel. The Parsha of Vayakhel, Rabbi say, is a very sensitive Parsha, especially when it comes in a leap year, when there are two others. And Parshas Vayakhel reminds us of Parshas Vayakhel Tovshin Nun Beis. Parshas Vayakhel Tovshin Nun Beis was like this year. It was a leap year. There were two others. And it was the last farbrengen so far that we heard and saw the Rebbe. And therefore it has a special sensitivity. You see the sign behind me, Limud Achona Liyud Aleph Nisan Tovshin Pei Beis. It's all connected. It's going to be 120 years, this Yud Aleph Nisan, from the birthday of the Rebbe. And there is a great awakening and a great excitement among Chassidim, 120 years of the birthday of the Rebbe. And everybody wants to give the Rebbe a birthday gift, a gift for the birthday. And the Rebbe made it known a long time ago that the best gift that he wants is a gift of Torah, a gift of learning. Not only that, in Asicha, about 120 years of the birthday of the Rebbe Nishma Satan, the father of the previous Rebbe, the Rebbe says that the best thing is to learn his Torah, his Ma'amorim, his Sichas. So therefore, if you look at the website, yudalefnissen120.com, it has all of the Rebbe's Maimorim and all of the Rebbe's Sichas and all the Rebbe's letters, all of the work of the Rebbe. It's about 250 volumes. 250 volumes, which is absolutely unprecedented. 250 volumes of the Torah of the Rebbe. And we can pick whatever we want. It's computerized. You can pick a whole volume, as many did, or you can pick one Maimer or one Sicha. Not only that, you will be reminded, you will get a computerized reminder of what you took and so on. So therefore, if we get on right now, yudalefnissen120.com, you will be able to choose what you want to take from the Rebbe's Torah. The good news that you will see, it's a few Chalukas, Chalukah Aleph, Beis, Gimel, Dalet, but these four Chalukas come out to more than the one-time 250 Sforim of the Rebbe. So therefore, please join everyone, and when you are joining a tzibur, there's the strength of the tzibur, the power of the tzibur. And not only that, the Rebbe brings that when you make a halukah of Shas, if somebody takes only one Gemara, it's like he learned all of Shas together with everyone. And here we are learning together with so many people all over the world, a wonderful Achdus. Again, yudalefnissen120.com. Rabbi say, B'hanegeya to Shabbos, Parshas Vayakhel. And like this year, it was Vayakhel and it was Parshas Shkolim. No one knew what this farbrengen brings with it. But there were a few things in the farbrengen that were extraordinary. We will return to the details of that farbrengen. Shabbos Parshas Vayakhel. It was like this year. It was also Shabbos Shkolim Tovshin Nun Beis. But first, our customary story. And our customary story this week is also something that is connected with Vayakhel Tovshin Nun Beis, to that farbrengen. And as mentioned, this is the farbrengen that so far, that the last one that we have seen and heard the Rebbe. For more than a month before Chof Zayin Odorishin Tovshin Nun Beis, the Rebbe started to clear his desk. On the Rebbe's desk, you found Sforim, Ma'amorim, you found letters from a lot of people. The Rebbe kept them on his desk. But about more than a month before, the Rebbe started to clear his desk. When the Rebbe went to the Hakhel on Monday morning, Chof Zayin Oder Rishon, the Rebbe's desk was completely clear. So you see, beyond any shadow of a doubt, the Rebbe was preparing. And he cleared, in a physical sense, the Rebbe cleared his desk by Monday morning, Chof Zayin Oder Rishon, Tovshin Nun Beis, before the Rebbe went to the Hakhel. That desk was clear. Concerning what the Rebbe said, and it's important for us to see that the Rebbe was Magia, the Rebbe edited part of the Sicha of that Shabbos, and it's printed in Sefer HaSichos, and it's printed in a different form, as you can see, broad lines, and that's in that farbrengen. You see that there are several things that were different than any other farbrengen. And he mentioned several things which he generally never mentioned, and that farbrengen. He started that it's the parasha of Vayakhel, where Vayakhel is separate, that sometimes the parashas are together, Vayakhel and Pekudei, and they both serve a special function. The function of Vayakhel is the gathering of the people and the power of the many. The power of Pekudei is the power of the individual, what each individual can do. But the Rebbe focused on the power of the many, on the Vayakhel. And he said that the Vayakhel has many connotations. It can be the people in the community, and Vayakhel can be the big Vayakhel of all Jewish people throughout the world. Moreover, in the printed text, the one that was muge and edited by the Rebbe, the last words were Kohol Godel Yoshuvu Heino. A great multitude of people will return here. When you look at it, these are the last words of the Sikha that's muge that was edited. How does this come to Pashas Vayakhel? Although Kohol comes from the same source as Vayakhel. Nevertheless, when the last words in the Sikha are called Godel Yoshuvu Heino, it makes one think. Kol Godel Yeshuva Heino is a posuk. It's a posuk in Yirmiyah, where it talks about Shnas Hakhel, the year of Hakhel. Tovshin Nun Beis was not the year of Hakhel. It was not the year of Hakhel. And the Rebbe mentions this posuk called Godel Yeshuva Heino. When we look at the entire Sikha, we see that the Rebbe is talking about the future of the Jewish people. He starts by saying it was Shabbos Pasha Shkolim, that a shekel is Esrim Geiro, 20. And why is Esrim Geiro? And then what do we give? Machatzis a shekel, a half a shekel. That's the Pasha in Kesiso, a half a shekel. Now, why is it a half a shekel? So there are many commentaries. And basically, the commentaries the explanation that is brought in so many places, that you should know that we are only machatzis, we're only a half. The other half is another Jew, which brings out in a very strong way the concept of Ahavas Yisrael, that to know that on our own we're only half, and the other half is another Jew. Also, on our own we are half. The other half is Almighty God. And the number 10, the half of 20 is 10. And we know that Almighty God operates with Esas Filis, 20 supernal lights. And therefore, if a Jew makes the connection with God and with another Jew, then he has accomplished the mission for which he was sent to this world. And then the Rebbe mentioned here something that we see about the coming of Mashiach. And that's going to be an answer why Kol Godel Yoshuvu Heinu. That because of the coming of Mashiach in our generation, Almighty God already is showing us miracles that are Mashiach miracles. And one of them has to do with Vayakhel. What does Vayakhel mean? The gathering of people throughout the world. People saw in those years, and we're talking about 1991, 1992, and where the gates of Russia have opened in those years, and hundreds of thousands of Jews came out of Russia. And many thought that this was like a political action. The leaders in Russia have figured that it was a good thing for them to do. It doesn't work this way. The leaders in Russia figure out what to do when the decree comes from Almighty God. First it's decided in the heavens, and then it comes down to this world. So first it's decided in heaven, a miracle, a great miracle, because Mashiach is coming, and therefore part of the miracles of Mashiach we already see in our world now. And therefore the gates of Russia were opened. They were closed for so long, and they were opened. Hundreds of thousands of Jews were able to immigrate to Eretz Yisrael. Moreover, in principle, it was open to everyone, even for the Jew who didn't immigrate, who decided he wants to stay in Russia. However, he had the ability to leave, and that ability was given those years. And that is because Almighty God is already showing us the miracles of Mashiach. And the Rebbe mentions it here in this farbrengen. Moreover, in this farbrengen he said something that he never said before. And he mentioned all the Rebbes. He says, we see that all the Rebbes, the Baal Shem Tov, the Masritche Maggid, he mentioned them all. The Alter Rebbe, the Mittel Rebbe, the Tzemach Tzedek, the Rebbe Marash, the Rebbe Nishma Seiden, never went to Israel, even for a visit. He says, that's a fact. And then he said that the reason that the previous Rebbe, the Rebbe's father-in-law, went to Eretz Yisrael was because he writes himself that he would generally go to the resting spots of his father in Rostov, the resting spots of his grandfather, the Rebbe Marash in Lubavitch, the resting spot of his great-grandfather, the Rebbe the Tzemach Tzedek in Lubavitch, but now he's mushlol hayecheles. That ability was taken away from him. And he doesn't have the ability to go to Rostov, and he doesn't have the ability to go to Lubavitch. So therefore he went to Eretz Yisrael. And in other words, he only did it because he had no other choice. And the Rebbe mentioned it in this farbrengen. So one would think that the Rebbe mentioned it as part of history. This is not only when the Rebbe mentioned something that he didn't mention before with all the details, and you see and you put it together that this was the Shabbos of Vayakhel, Tovshin Yun Beis, you see that there is a special meaning there. And the Rebbe finishes with the words printed, Kol Godel Yoshuvu Heinu. Kol Godel Yoshuvu Heinu, as mentioned, is a posuk in Yirmiyah. And it's talking about the year of Hakhel, which this was not the year of Hakhel. Nevertheless, Kol Godel Yeshuva Heinu is a Mashiach posuk. It means that a great multitude of people are going to come back to Yerushalayim. So therefore, this is a posuk that speaks about Mashiach. So in that farbrengen of Vayakhel, you see that the Rebbe is alluding to the future that is important to all of us, to the future of the Vayakhel of all Jews, to the Vayakhel of all Jews. And when can there be a Vayakhel of all Jews? Kol Godel Yoshuvu Heinu. A great multitude is going to return here. Now we know there is a mitzvah of Hakhel, where all the Jewish people are supposed to come to Yerushalayim the year after Shemitah. And I want to suggest to you, respectfully, that it never happened. That all Jews should be in Yerushalayim never happened. And you're going to say, what do you mean it never happened? It says in Chumash that you have to do it. It's a biblical commandment that you have to do it on the year after Shemitah. It's a year of Hakhel. But it never happened. The reason for that, because the Rambam says in Ilchus Chagiga, that there are many people, I believe he says 11 different elements of people that are exempt for going to Yerushalayim. Among them an elderly person. If an elderly person who does not have the ability to come to Yerushalayim, he doesn't have the obligation. What of a person who doesn't see? He's a sumo. He's blind. Or there's a person that doesn't hear. They're exempt. What of a woman that has to give birth to a child? And she lives in Tel Aviv. Does she have to go to Yerushalayim when she has to give birth? She's exempt. So there are 11 different elements that are exempt. So therefore, it never happened yet that all Jews were in Yerushalayim. Nevertheless, Kol Godel Yeshuva Heino, in that posuk, the posuk says that when Mashiach comes, and he's coming now, where there will be no people who are going to be sick, where even the woman who has to give birth will be able to give birth immediately, and she will be able to go to Yerushalayim, because it's not going to take that long, and so on, and she will have the ability to go to Yerushalayim. So now we are talking about Kol Godel Yeshuva Heino. Now we are talking about all Jewish people. Why? Because with the coming of Mashiach there will be nobody sick. With the coming of Mashiach nobody will be blind. With the coming of Mashiach nobody will be deaf. With the coming of Mashiach nobody will be unable to walk. Everybody is going to be healed. So therefore, even the women who have to give birth will manage. So therefore, then it's going to happen. So in that pasuk before, called Godel Yeshuva Heino, all of the elements of the sick people, of the elderly and the sick, and so on are mentioned. And then there's going to be the real Hakhel. And the Rebbe mentioned it when the last words in the farbrengen. So it is absolutely clear and absolutely mind-boggling that these are the last words in the farbrengen that we are coming, Gemilut Hashem, we're getting to the Geulah Ha'amitis V'Yashlemo, to the gathering, to the great gathering that never happened before, but it's happening now with the coming of Mashiach. On Simchas Torah of a year of Hakhel, the Rebbe would open the Machzor. He would open the Machzor to the Haftarah of the second day of Rosh Hashanah, and the Haftarah is in as we mentioned before in the Sefer of Yirmiyah, and he would say 3 times, Hineni meviesom me'eretz tzofein, v'kibatzti miyarkesi oretz, bo miveru fiseach, horo v'yeledes yachdov, kol godel yoshuvu heino. Here you have the kol godel yoshuvu heino, which means the pasuk says that there will be no longer anyone who is going to be blind and so on, no one who's not going to be sick. Everyone is going to be in perfect health, and therefore all of us, all our brothers and sisters from the entire world will be able to come in Gemilut Hashem to Yerushalayim El HaKodesh, and this is what we find in the last words of that farbrengen that was Mugo, that was edited by the Rebbe before Monday morning when the Rebbe went to the Hakhel. Rabbi say, we should see all of this immediately with our very own eyes. We should see the great Hakhel of the great multitudes of people from all over the world, from Jews all over the world, a gathering which never happened yet, but it's happening now, of all men, women, and children of the Jewish nation from all over the world coming to Yerushalayim, and that is with the great redemption coming our own way. Uba'agolo didan, ובשמחה ובטוב לבוב, ובטבע נראה והנגלה, ולמטה מעשר הטפוחים, ובחסד וברחמים, ותקף, ומיד ממש.